Accounting has a very long history. It's as old as our civilization itself. It is believed that accounting began in Babylonia and Egypt almost 4,000 years ago. There, wages and taxes were recorded on clay tablets. History tells us that the Egyptians used accounting to keep track of their treasuries, where gold and other valuables were kept. The treasury chiefs had to give a daily account to their viziers, or ministers, and from there, a monthly account was sent to the kings. Babylonia, known as the City of Commerce, used accounting in business to detect losses from fraud and negligence. In Greece, accounting was used to keep track of the distribution of funds among treasuries, total earnings, total expenses, and to maintain a balance of government transactions. The Romans used a memorandum, or daily diary, to record earnings and expenses. These entries were then written into ledgers every month. This practice lasted from 700 BC to 400 AD. Meanwhile, a developed form of government accounting was in use in China from 2000 BC. The history of accounting in India dates back to 2300 years ago, when Kautilya, a minister in Chandragupta's kingdom, wrote a book called Arthashastra. This book also explained how to write accounting records. Luca Pacioli, a Franciscan monk from a merchant family, wrote a book called Summa de Arithmetica, Geometria, Proportion et Proportionality, which means review of arithmetic, geometry, ratio, and proportion. This book was written in 1494 in Venice. This book is considered the first book on double-entry bookkeeping. One part of this book contains knowledge of business and bookkeeping. In his book, Pacioli used the terms debit, abbreviated as doctor, and credit, abbreviated as COR, which are still used in accounting today. These were Italian words. Debit comes from the Italian word debito, which comes from the Latin debita and debeo, meaning what the owner owes. Credit comes from the Italian credito, which comes from the Latin credo, meaning trust or belief in the owner or payable by the owner. Explaining the double entry system, Pacioli wrote that all entries must be double entries. That is, if you make a creditor, you must also make a debtor. He also said that a merchant's responsibilities include remembering God in their work, being honest in all business activities, and making a profit. He described the memorandum, journal, ledger, and specific accounting methods.